What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the Common Sense Podcast. And today is a very, 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 very special episode today. You want to tell them what we're talking about today?
Cause man, we did it. We went to Dreamville. It's probably gonna be the Dreamville most remembered for J. Cole apologizing. We're gonna get into that a little bit later, but we want to tell you guys all the things that we like, things that we didn't like, and kind of tips if you do want to go to Dreamville.
So without further ado, let's start the episode. All right, so hopping straight into today's episode. Yes, if you stuck around past the intro, we went to the Ville, and it was truly an experience, to say the least.
You can say that.
And disclaimer, y'all, I'm a little bit under the weather, so I'm sorry I sound a little bit like Biggie Smalls right now. But, you know, the work don't stop, so let's get into it. We're going to be talking about the things that we enjoyed and the things that we personally loved about Dreamville. So if you wanted to start, what is some of the things that you liked about Dreamville?
So I will remind everyone, this is a Dreamville Festival. So Dreamville is what you're going there for.
Keyword.
And to me, all of the Dreamville artists were a part of all of my favorite sets. I mean, of course, I'm a huge J. Cole fan, so of course J. Cole's was good. But there were I feel like you get to see, if you get there early and get enough to the sets, you get to see some of your favorite artists up close and personal, and they are as lit as it comes. I mean, we saw Earth Gang, we saw J.I.D, we saw Loot, we saw Omen, we saw, of course, J. Cole. All of those people. I think my favorite thing was just seeing the artists I listen to all the time, so up close and personal all the time. What was one of your favorite things?
I would definitely say that's definitely one of them. Like, being able to see the people that you listen to every day in person, it's like so surreal.
Me and J. Cole,
but
it was unreal.
It was an unworldly experience, because again, I've been listening to J. Cole since I was a teenager, and I'm like 23 now. So looking back and being able to see, listening to all of the songs I used to listen to when I was a teenager, as a grown-up now, but in person, and see him in person, when he dropped the curtain and he was sitting on top of that car,
he was the main character and you wasn't. Like, it felt
right.
Like for the first time in my life, I would be like, that's the main character of the show right now.
The way his set was put together with the decorations or the set design,
yeah,
he was a headliner, but it was wonderful. And even his entrance and his introduction, where the curtain dropped, his music was playing, and even though his mic wasn't working, that still didn't matter. It was like, it's cold.
I think the atmosphere, I was kind of worried about it being like at an outside park, but I feel like
right.
both of the stages being on two different sides. So, well, I think it was the Shine and
the Rise stage.
And the Rise stage. Mm-hmm. The Shine stage was obviously the better one in my opinion. If you want to go back and forth with who the stage was, but I feel like having it in that setting with the food trucks on the side, they give you maps and everything, so you kind of know where everything is. It's not really like a trying to figure out what you're trying to do. I think it was very well put out as far as the landscape of it, and it wasn't too hard to navigate either.
I love J.I.D and Earth Gang set.
Great.
I loved Earth Gang set because they were so lit. I even got introduced to some music that I didn't even know about. That's another thing I love about festivals. Even though we listen to these artists a lot, there may be some songs that kind of like sneak through the crevices. And I definitely found a new love for Earth Gang. Because
Shazam out, I feel like.
Right.
And I know we talked about performances from Dreamville, but honorable mention to the Ray Shrimmer performance.
Ray Shrimmer. Oh my gosh.
That was crazy.
That 2016 nostalgia, the energy that Ray Shrimmer brought was amazing. Right. And I think everyone was kind of speculating. We was like, are they going to come out together?
They had broke up. Yeah.
Right, they had broke up. Or was it confirmed that they broke up? Or was it
just apart for a long time? They hadn't dropped anything. I think Strim Life 4 had came out probably like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
But I think it was like speculation if they were going to come out together. So, But they did though. So we did get Slim Jimmy and Sway Lee.
It was so fun. Even though we got caught in the mosh pit, but We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. Another good thing about attending Dreamville Festival was meeting new people. So it would be times where you're sitting there for hours waiting for artists that you want to see, and a good time to kill time was just honestly just having conversation and talking and meeting new people. So I think that was one of the positives I would say about Dreamville Fest. I got to meet different people, see different things from their perspective, like see what are the albums that you liked, what are the songs that you liked, and it was good just to meet new people and expand my horizons.
I think so too. And honestly, if you got it on, if you got the fit on, they gonna take a picture of you. They gonna make you feel like you really got it on. So if you do go to Dreamville Fest, bring your best fit, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of photographers, a lot of Instagram promoters out there that definitely take your fit. And we got our picture taken a couple times.
And overall, Dreamville was just like a welcoming experience.
It was.
I guess even though there were so many different people there with different music tastes, you never really felt like
alienated.
Yeah, you never felt alienated. It was something there for everybody, basically.
Right. And Raleigh is an easy town to navigate.
It is.
Being from like Atlanta, the Atlanta area, where it's like stuff is like everywhere. Raleigh, I mean, you can't miss the park. Like it's at NC State as well, so you can't miss it. But this is the real version of what happened at Dreamville. We want to get the good stuff out of the way because it's a great experience. I swear, if you've never been to a music, I've never been to a concert before any of this, so this was a great experience for me.
We just don't want to make it seem like we just highlighting all the bad things.
Right, there were some bad things about Dreamville. Okay, first thing that we kind of read into was the security. Okay. So for all my content creators out there, one thing that you should be very weary of is they don't let a
detachable
lens on your camera in. So if you are a content creator and have a detachable lens, they will not let you in. And this had us so upset because I feel like it wasn't highlighted on any of the things that you couldn't bring. And to me, neither were the clear book bags. So
now I will say, to be fair, they did disclose on the website that all bags will be checked, but larger bags should be clear.
Right.
But with that being said, they were not following by those standards at the park. They switched it up in the middle of the day. So like some people were under the impression that you could have that you could have regular bags, and some people were under the impression that you had to have clear bags. And there was also this notion that you could have a bigger bag that wasn't exactly clear, it would just be checked. There wasn't a clear description of what is to be had and what isn't allowed.
We got there early, did everything we were supposed to, and had to go
all the way back
to the car
and get back in line.
It was a whole lot. I just feel like next time they gotta have their rules clear. So if you do go, make sure you bring a clear bag. If you have a camera, make sure there's no lens attached to it. Just bring, I guess, a bare camera. I will. But I feel like if you want to make some content out there, I think you should just do it with your phone. I think that's probably the safest thing you can do, so you don't have to go back.
But I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you guys. Even if you do your best to follow by the rules, they could change it. The second day, after we had to go back in line, we brought a clear bag. We made sure we had everything the way it was supposed to be by their standards, and we had no trouble getting in. But that second day, I'll even put the pictures in the video, there were multiple people with bags that were larger than mine's that was not clear. They were black. I think one girl had this blue. There was this red. There was this one girl that had this big like tote bag, and it was not clear. And then there were multiple people with detachable lenses as well. So it was just kind of like you don't know what you're allowed to have, what you aren't allowed to have. And I would just like to disclose, y'all, once you get in the park, you can't rescan your band. Like you can't leave. So you have a wristband that you get in the mail, and you activate it before you go into the park. If you scan it on that day, you can't leave.
Right.
And you can't
come back. Like if you leave, you can't come back in.
Yeah, you can't come back in. And so imagine us going in and scanning, and then having to go back and put our stuff back in the car, and then come back, and then they're telling us, oh, you already scanned for today. Right. And then we had to break down the whole thing because they really was not trying to let us in. And I lost a book bag. So like I had a book bag, and they basically said you can leave it here or you can go all the way back. Now keep in mind, y'all, we had already went back to put the camera back.
Right.
So we was like, okay. And another thing, we was let in with the bag that I had at the time. We just needed to take the camera back. So when we came back in through line, waited, and got ready to enter again, they said, oh, you can't come in with this bag. So just imagine we got through the first time with that bag, and then they're telling us again, oh, you can't come in through that bag, even though we already let you in the first time with it. So I left the bag there. Now, I left it there because I was well aware of the fact that it could be gone by the time I got back. But it's the fact of waiting all day and going through all day and then going back to it and then being like, dang, it's not there. I was open to that fact, but it just kind of hurt to see that my bag was not there, because you know there is security there. So I was hoping and praying just for a little bit of hope that it would still be there.
The second thing we would say, not necessarily as a bad thing, but something you should be very aware of, is staying hydrated. I know that might seem like extremely simple, something that like everyone should know, but multiple people pass out at this festival. People are going to be passing out around you, and that's mostly due to like heat exhausted and everything. One thing they do let you bring is a water bottle though, so you don't have to continually buy water everywhere or buy drinks everywhere.
It has to be empty though. Right, it has to be empty when you come in, but you can fill it as many times as you want.
They give you a place where you can fill up that water, and you can have ice in the bottle as far as when you go in there. It just can't have any type of liquid in it. But yeah, you need to stay hydrated, because you gotta think about it. When you see on Instagram like a lot of people, you really don't realize like those people are gonna be like next to you like this for hours.
Can't even breathe. You can't breathe. Like I was looking at one point when we were waiting to see J. Cole, I had to look up
just to get air.
Right. That's how many. It was 52. I think it was over
52,000 people.
It was 52,000 people there. So imagine everybody's like crammed together and pushed together. You need to stay hydrated, and the sun beaming down.
There's no trees. There's no trees during that park, so there's no shade. There's no shade.
There are trees, but it's like further on back like to where it's not to where it's going to be blocking any sun.
Right.
So the sun beaming down on you. You're surrounded by 52,000 people, and so you need to stay hydrated. And y'all don't come to this festival and expect them to just pass out water like that. And if they do pass it out, the chance of you getting it is very slim to none.
There's there's thousands of people or hundreds of people around you when they're trying to pass out.
Right. So like imagine like everyone's fighting for that water. So the chances of you getting it. Right. So just
stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, please. So the next tip we have for you is to dress comfortably. Now I know before we said to dress to impress, but you can this was our saving grace. The day 2 waiting for Cole. Let me tell y'all something. Let me just tell y'all how serious this got.
Right, go ahead.
Now we did say to put your fits on, but you can dress nicely and comfortably. Y'all, we was waiting standing for J. Cole for 6 hours.
No cap. It kind of like in the videos that we're probably going to show you right now is we were very close though to the
very close. So it was very worth it. Yeah. It was very worth it. I don't regret anything I did that day. But that 6 hours almost took me out, y'all. And if I was not wearing anything comfortable, because I had the foam runners on as well, if I did not have those things on, I don't think any other shoe would have did me a service. And even though wearing those comfortable shoes, it still hurt after 6 hours. Right. No shoe
is meant for you
to stand 6 hours.
Yeah.
So dress comfortably. I saw people with heels on. Jordans. Nah, y'all know I'm a sneakerhead. I love me some Jordans. But standing for 6 hours in some Jordans.
Next thing, I know if you a J. Cole fan, you probably remember him saying $1 in a dream. Now he like $1,000, and you better hope you got a dream, because your dream ain't enough. So if you come out here, please bring, for 2 days, I would say comfortably bring probably like $250. Comfortably. At some point, you probably not gonna want to drink water. You know, I'm sure if you go into this festival, you probably 18, 21 plus, hopefully.
Right, hopefully.
So, hopefully. But so the drinks out there, the minimum for a drink is like $18 to $20, and that's just for like a single, a cup. Like
a single.
A double is
$40.
Right.
You're paying $40,
and that's just for one drink. So like if you have a significant other and y'all are buying drinks, be prepared to spend like $80 to over $100, and that's just for the drink. Like it's just for the drink.
And we only bought one. Yeah. We know some people like to drink.
Yeah, so if you like to drink, please bring more than $250. Like,
right.
That $250 may last
for drinks
just for the first day.
Right.
The first day.
Right.
And then for food, it was kind of the exact same thing. Food was like $25 and up.
And we shared. Like
right.
Like I don't think y'all understand. Like yeah. It gets expensive.
It does.
And we're both like, we drink, but we're not. You try, but it get pricey.
He was trying to warn us beforehand.
So, yes, I think also take into consideration, guys, we are people that we drink, but we don't drink heavily.
Right.
And we shared our food, and we still ended up spending over $80.
Yeah. Just for probably
one day.
Yeah. That was just for the drinks.
For the drinks.
Just for the drinks.
Bring some
Depending
cash.
on how big of a drinker you are, how hungry you can get.
Right.
It get different. And segueing straight into eating, guys, y'all are not Superman. You have to eat something. You're gonna be out here for 6+ hours waiting on your favorite artist. If you try to thug it out and
you're not going to
go through this whole festival without eating, you will fall out. I almost guarantee.
Because these are we both go to the gym
4
days a week.
You ain't gonna make it.
I
would honestly say if you can, whatever hotel you get, or maybe like if you can go to a gas station, get like a little bit of a snack beforehand. They ain't gonna let you bring it in there.
No.
But eat the snack beforehand, just so you kind of have some on your stomach, because you gotta think about it. You don't know, it could be hot, it could be very windy, and you just standing up in front of all these people. It gets real hot.
Right. Once you in there, you in there.
You can't leave.
You can't leave
unless you leaving.
Right. Like unless you leave for real, or you just gonna lose your spot.
Yeah.
So like there was times where we was waiting for J. Cole. And we was like, we in here, like we not leaving, because if we leave, automatically
the festival, but the crowd.
Plan you guys' day out. Like if you're with people, plan it, because obviously if you're by yourself, you ain't got to worry about that. But if you're with somebody, figure out who you want to see, what time y'all gonna be waiting for that person to stay together. You know what environment you're coming into.
Right.
Like
that's a lot of people to lose somebody.
Right. So
have a spot or something y'all gonna meet at if y'all want to watch the separate events, because they give you the times of whenever the artists are gonna perform.
Right, they give you a schedule. So there was a schedule that Dreamville released that showed who was gonna be at what stage at what time. So we got together, and the night before the actual festival, we sat down and we talked about who we wanted to see at what time we're gonna eat, what time are we gonna get something to eat, and what time are we gonna go and sit there, what time are we gonna leave. We got through all of that. We went through all of that. So I just think that's something that everybody should do, just to make just an easier day at the festival for yourselves.
Right. Number 6 on this list is of course, I don't know, you guys could, some people watching this video could be in North Carolina, others could be in Georgia. If you're taking a plane to go to Dreamville and you don't have a means of transportation, trust me, Uber and Lyft is not what you want to do. I can guarantee you. I kind of saw on TikTok that was a horrible idea, so I just decided not to do it and just rented a car. But you gotta think about it. There are thousands of people trying to get Ubers at the same time. So as far as you trying to get an Uber, first of all, it may take hours for that Uber to get to you, because there are just people just sitting on the sidewalk, like hundreds, thousands of people just sitting on the sidewalk waiting for an Uber. And at the same time, it's also a safety concern, especially for some young females out there that could be out there. You never know who's trying to get you in a taxi or whatever, and it's a dangerous thing to do. So if you can't, I would say rent a car.
To add on to that, if you have a rental car, buy parking passes. Or even if you live in Raleigh, buy parking passes. It is so worth it. Yeah. Buy it for both days, because both days we could have been like everybody else, wondering how the heck we gonna get home.
Right.
But we bought parking tickets and we knew exactly where to park. You scan the QR code, let you right in, you park there, and then you go and see the festival, and then you come back and you can leave. And it don't get me wrong, you're still gonna get caught in some of that traffic, because it's it's so many people.
It's thousands of people.
But you beat most of the traffic if you already know where your
and
car is.
You come at a good early time. I would say the gates open at like 12. Try to be there by like
10.
I would say 10, 11.
10, 11.
Be there an hour before. And for my anemic people, do you want to talk about how cold it could get?
Yes, y'all. Now the second day was different because the second day was a lot hotter than the first day. But day one was windy and cold, especially at night. And I had me a little mesh outfit on. Like I had my Dreamville t-shirt on and I had like a mesh outfit underneath it. So I didn't really have a lot to cover myself. By the end of the night when I got in that car, I was so happy to get some relief. Turn the heat on. It was y'all, it was so cold. Now what's cold to me might not be what's cold to everybody else, but still you should bring a hoodie, bring a blanket, something that you can wrap around yourself when it gets a little cold at night. As
we kind of get toward the end of this list, we kind of put this on the list just because we were expecting like Dreamville Fest, right? You expect everybody to know who Dreamville is, especially like if you like a diehard J. Cole fan. Like I said, if you like Dreamville, yeah, the people at this festival, they're not Dreamville fans. That's one thing that kind of took us by. You think everybody would know, the Forever story, all this stuff. People are like, what's the song Stick and why do we have one? It's a crazy experience. People probably have never heard some of these albums. I guess that's part of the festival experience. But a lot of people going to these festivals aren't Dreamville fans. They're there for the headliner.
The headliner.
So you will see like the Barbs was in full effect the second day because we saw a whole lot of Pink.
And that's another thing, y'all. I can't really talk bad about people that do it because I did it for J. Cole. Like I sat for 6 hours and waited for J. Cole.
We did.
But it is a Dreamville festival.
So don't we come over here hating on the Dreamville artists,
right?
Boss bass.
And one thing about J.I.D, one thing that I thought was a great thing that he did. Even if there were people there that did not know his music, he tries to get everyone involved. So like during when he performed Stick, I like how he tried to get everyone involved. But even then, like maybe it was because where we were at, maybe, but I'm not sure. The people around us just was not vibing. If I ever go to a festival again, I will be purchasing either VIP tickets or I just rather go to a concert. Because at least if someone buys a ticket for that artist, they know that artist. That was one of the things that I was kind of disappointed about, was that it wasn't a lot of Dreamville fans present.
Right. So I know you were very passionate about the last thing. This is the last thing on the list.
I need y'all to pay attention. All right, like anybody 18 and up, anybody below 18.
Really, like 10 and up.
10 and up. Wash. Yo. It makes no sense. You smelling like boiled eggs, trash,
and
Doritos,
Cool
Ranch. Like y'all, I'm telling y'all, we in again, like we said, you are in a crowd of 52,000 people. You're that close. Literally that close the entire time, and the audacity of you not to put an inkling of deodorant on, just please, for yourselves and the people around you. That's all I had to say about that.
No. Well, overall, did you have like fun at the festival?
Yes, it is something that everybody should experience one time, but it is my last.
Why is it your last?
It is my last because I would just say it isn't a very controlled environment. Nah. And I feel like I could just buy tickets and go to a concert and have that same experience, if that makes sense. The only time that I would attend a festival again is if I had like a VIP or MVP tickets to where I'm like more in a secluded area or I'm on the stage.
But yeah, like I said, I kind of feel the exact same way. It's just a lot of people, whether it's uncontrolled. Security can't catch what everybody's doing.
Right.
Some people when they're pulling mosh pits, I mean, everyone's getting pushed. Like it's a whole lot. So I would just say like if you want to go to a festival, I think that's honestly any music festival though. You kind of have to be aware of what other people are doing, and they don't care. Also,
So that is the end of today's episode, you guys. If you made it to the end, we gladly appreciate you for watching until the end. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Have you been to a Dreamville Fest?
And if you haven't, go. Like, we really do. I think you should. Everyone, if you really like Dreamville, go to the festival.
Please.
Like, literally, go to the festival. You'll definitely have an experience for you and your friends if you do go.
But also leave in the comments if you have been to a Dreamville Festival. What was your experience like? Tell us what you liked and what you didn't like.
I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, we've given you enough tips and tricks so if you do go to Dreamville, it goes smoother than ours. Although I thought ours went kind of smooth as well, just kind of the security check. But stay tuned. We're gonna have the same clothes on. We about to drop again. Because, you know, like I said in the beginning of the episode, this Dreamville Festival will be the most remembered because J. Cole apologized for the diss track. So, stay tuned for the next episode where we will address how we felt about the apology as well. Like we said, and like we always say, common sense ain't
that common.
So, you guys know what to do. See you guys next time.